The night she walked into the Hell's Angels bar, every head turned. Some with suspicion, some with curiosity, but all of them with that silent question written in their eyes. What's a girl like her doing here? She didn't flinch. Didn't blink. Didn't even pause when the heavy door creaked shut behind her and the stale scent of beer, smoke, and gasoline wrapped around her like a warning. She just took a slow breath, squared her shoulders, and smiled, that soft, steady smile that said she had nothing left to lose and everything left to prove. No one knew her story yet. No one knew she'd just left behind a life that had chewed her up and spit her out. They only saw a woman in worn jeans and a denim jacket, standing in front of the most feared bar in the city, asking for a job no one wanted, and somehow, that was where her best days began. She had seen the flyer pinned on the cracked notice board outside a grocery store, "Help wanted, bartender at the Devil's Pit." Must have nerves of steel. Most people in town didn't even look twice. Everyone knew what the Devil's Pit was, the local hangout for the Hell's Angels. Fights, noise, chaos. The kind of place you didn't walk into unless you were part of the family, or you wanted trouble, but she wasn't afraid of trouble anymore. She was running from something worse, silence. The kind of silence that followed after losing everything that once made sense. Her husband's sudden death in a car crash had ripped her world apart, and the job she once loved let her go when grief made her slow. Bills piled up, friends drifted away, and the apartment walls started to feel like a prison. So when she saw that flyer, she took it as a sign. The next evening, she found herself standing in front of the bar, the neon sign buzzing weakly above her. Inside, the place looked like a storm in slow motion, leather jackets, tattooed arms, smoke curling through the dim light, a jukebox humming old rock ballads. The man behind the counter had a beard like steel wool and eyes that had seen too much. "You lost?" he asked, half amused, half annoyed. "I'm here for the job," she said. He laughed, loud and sharp. "You? Lady, this ain't a coffee shop." "I'm not here for coffee," she replied calmly. Something in her tone made him pause. After a moment, he shrugged. "All right, sweetheart. Your funeral. Name's Bear. You start now. Don't get killed." That first night was chaos. A spilled drink here, a drunken argument there. One biker, a tall guy with arms like tree trunks and a grin that was more menace than charm, tested her by slamming his beer bottle on the counter and demanding another before she could even wipe the mess. She met his glare, picked up the mop, and said, "You break it, you clean it." The whole room went silent. For a moment, it felt like the world was holding its breath. Then the big guy laughed, a deep, rumbling sound that rolled through the bar. "You got guts," he said. "I like her." That night, for the first time in months, she felt alive. The days turned into weeks, and the woman who had once been invisible began to glow again. The bikers who'd mocked her started to respect her, not because she fought them, but because she didn't flinch. She listened when they talked. She remembered their stories. She knew who had a sick mother, who was saving up for his kids' school fees, who was pretending not to care about the scars he carried, and little by little, she became part of something she never expected, a family. But every family has its storms. One night, just as the bar was closing, a group of outsiders rolled in, loud, drunk, and looking for trouble. She tried to calm them down, but when one of them shoved her, the entire room erupted. Chairs flew, fists slammed, and she found herself ducking behind the counter, heart pounding. Bear was fighting two men at once, blood streaking his arm. The bikers were outnumbered. She could have run, no one would have blamed her. But something inside her refused. She grabbed a pool cue, swung it with everything she had, and knocked the man who'd pushed her flat onto the floor. The chaos froze for a second, then the outsiders backed off, cursing as they stumbled out. When it was over, the place was wrecked. Glass everywhere. The jukebox crackled with static. Bear looked at her, half laughing, half stunned. "You're out of your damn mind," he said. She grinned. "Maybe. But you're still breathing, aren't you?" From that night on, she wasn't just the bartender. She was one of them. Months passed. The bar changed, brighter, warmer somehow. She started hosting Sunday nights with live music. The regulars started bringing their families. The laughter came easier. Even the cops who used to circle the place like vultures began to back off, and she, the woman who'd once thought her life had ended, started to heal. It wasn't just about the job anymore. It was about finding beauty in broken places, strength in people no one believed in, and purpose in places she never thought to look. One evening, as she wiped down the counter, Bear handed her an envelope. Inside was a photograph, all of them together, laughing outside the bar. On the back, someone had scrawled in messy handwriting, "You gave us more than drinks. You gave us hope." Tears stung her eyes. She looked around the bar, the worn stools, the neon lights, the smell of smoke and whiskey, and smiled, because this place, this chaos, these people, had saved her as much as she'd saved them, and for the first time in a long time, she realized something simple but profound. Sometimes the best days of your life start where you least expect them. Sometimes, the road to healing starts in hell and ends in home.